This is the Patriots Drive Podcast.
We are all Patriots.
Where we discuss, analyze, and answer questions to all things happening in the NFL and with our New England Patriots. Now, here's your host, Cole Kelly.
Let's go!
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. We are officially live, day 3, the final day of the NFL draft. Patriots are scheduled to have 4 picks in this round. They will have picks 107, 117, 120, and 135. So we're looking here at 4 picks. It's going to be a quick, couple, maybe an hour right here. 4 picks we could see from the Patriots coming in here real quick, real shortly if they don't trade any of those. So, John Doe, welcome back. Jake Bobo, wide receiver, UCLA, big old tall receiver, 6'4". Keely Ringo still on the board. Could convert to a safety. A lot of people might think that that's where he's going to be the best at in the NFL. He does have freakishly good athletic ability. Tested well. He's just inconsistent at the corner position, but he has all the intangibles. So I'm excited today. Still got positions we need to address. Haven't addressed a single offensive position. So receiver, offensive line, whether it's, I think you go tackle at one point and you get an interior offensive lineman. New England always seems to do that. You got tight end that you could address. New England loves to take running backs. So offense is something that could be pretty heavy today. I don't know if how early they continue to go defense. I thought they'd take at least one offensive guy yesterday, but they didn't. So I could be wrong. But yeah, Pat's got day 3. Keely Ringo about to be a Patriot. I fell off the Keely Ringo hype train, but that's because I thought he was going to be a surefire second rounder. You're talking about getting him in the 4th round. Now, I don't know if our secondary necessarily needs him, but he's definitely one of the best available on the board. If you go to PFFs right here, DeJuan Jones, Antonio Johnson, and then Keely Ringo is going to be down a little ways just because they're kind of low on him. But I think Keely Ringo is an exceptional talent. And, could turn into a really good player for the Patriots. So John Doe is still mad about the Keon White pick. So I'm just mad about it just because I feel like Bill Belichick could find really good edge rushers in the 4th round. You have 4 fourth round picks. I think you can find really good edge rushers here. If you look at it, I love Nick Heiberg. I think KJ Henry or Andre Carter would have been good fits. Colby Woolen was also a good one. Adebawore out of Northwestern's a guy that I did not think would be here. Small school dude, Jose Ramirez. So Dylan Horton's also a good one from TCU. So I kind of agree with you on that, where it's not so much the player that was taken, because I like Keon White, high upside, really versatile player, but it's more of I don't really like the going edge in the 2nd round unless you get one of those top dudes like a Nolan Smith or to fall, and he didn't. So. I think it's 5-minute rounds in the 4th, so hopefully we fly through this a little quick, get the Patriots on here. They are with that pick from the Rams from the Sony Michel trade, they do have a pick really early right here, and then they'll have 110 later at pick 117, then one following right back at 120. So. All right, Old Dominion tackle comes off the board. I like this Old Dominion tackle. I feel like he's going to slide into maybe more of a guard position in the NFL. But, yeah, Brian says Herbig is like 220 pounds. Yeah, he's small. His arm length is going to keep him from continually being able to play in like a 5 technique. But 11 sacks last year at Wisconsin, 6 hits, 16 total hurries, had like 25 plus TFLs over his career. I love Nick Heiberg. I think Nick Heiberg's a very productive player. And you want to talk about someone that could come in and be a kind of a sleeper pick. He's a little bit smaller, so he's not going to be the big dude. Maybe he's more of a Josh Uche role where he can't really play the run too well, but he has an ability to get to the passer. His pass rushing ability was off the charts this year. TFLs, stuff like that. So how would Bill Belichick use him? Not sure, just because I don't think he can continually play in the run game and set in an edge, but he does have some really good stuff in the pass rushing game that I just don't think you can look past. You can always take guys that can get to the quarterback no matter what their size is. There's just going to be a little bit more concerns, which is probably why he's falling to the 4th round right here. Carlos, what's up, man? Good to see you back. 3 trades before the day began. Yeah. Let's see. Geez, I wish I had let me try to pull this up. Okay, so the Bears and the Saints swap picks right here. So that's obviously who the Saints wanted. They want to go get a tackle. Okay, and then the Raiders and the Texans switch picks right here. So you've already seen 3 teams really kind of trade up and down and stuff. So Saints move up and to get the first pick of the 4th round of day 3, and then we'll see what Vegas wants right here at pick 104. All right. Yeah, they just read off this Old Dominion guy as a guard. So Jacorian Bennett, ooh, I like him. He's a good corner out of Maryland. That's a pretty good pick for Vegas right there. I thought that they could need a quarterback in the 1st round, and instead they slide down and get a little bit of a lesser player, but still a guy that has a ton of upside. So let's so Jacorian Bennett, good player right there. Eagles traded a future 3rd, so they must really like someone. Yeah, I'm waiting to see I mean, I'm not saying I don't trust you. I'm waiting for it to update on my end just so I have like the official count. But yeah, the Eagles trading up with a future 3rd to get back into the 4th round right here. What do they feel like? They feel like they had to have jumped someone, right? They had to have moved up to get in front of someone before their pick. Who is it? Don't know. It would be interesting, but I believe they did move up a little ways. They moved all the way up from where'd they move up from? It's got to be that pick from Miami, but they moved up a good amount in the 4th round. So giving up a future 3rd makes kind of sense. I'm pretty sure last year the Patriots got this 3rd round pick that they're about to, or that they're using from Carolina, which is, oh wait, we already used it. Sorry, the pick we had from Carolina was from a 4th round trade for Matt Corral. I'm pretty sure. I think Matt Corral was a 4th rounder last year, and we had traded up. Yeah. See, this makes a ton of sense, right? If you're moving, they don't have a 4th round pick. You're moving up into the 3rd right here, and you don't have a 4th round pick. You got to give up some capital, and that's a killer trade right there for Arizona. I know they need talent right now, but to get a future third for next year for a 4th-round pick is great. Yeah, this one's the Sony Michel trade. Yeah, from LA. I was talking about the 3rd-round pick we had wasn't our 3rd-round pick. 76 wasn't ours because that was the Devontae Parker trade. This pick that we used at 76 yesterday to get Mapu, I'm 90% sure was from Carolina, which was a trade last year in the 4th round. When we moved down, they ended up taking Matt Corral, and we got a future third for it. I'm almost 90% sure that's what it was. Yeah. That's what I thought it was. It was from Carolina. So there's Keely Ringo right there. Wow. Philadelphia just keeps loading up with Georgia players. Jordan Davis, Nakobe Dean, Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, Keely Ringo. You talk about the national championship defense that they had for the last 2 years at the University of Georgia. They're freaking all on Arizona. That's ridiculous. The only Trayvon Walker's in Jacksonville, a couple other guys here and there. But, yeah, Philadelphia is loading up. So that's who they gave up the future third for, one of the most dynamic, explosive players in the draft, just consistency issues. Well, let's go take a look at Philadelphia's draft. It's not Pittsburgh's. Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, Alabama, Tyler Steen, which I liked for New England as a potential tackle spot. Sidney Brown, Keely Ringo. That's a draft and a half for them. That is a very good draft for them. So, Sonny says, I hope they take a tackle here. It's got to be offense. Yeah, taking 3 straight defensive players from rounds 1 through 3 and not trading up. Yeah, it makes me feel like they're going to go offense here. I hope it's tackled too. I don't know. The tight ends I really like on the board. My favorite one on the board is still Zach Kuntz, but I feel like you might be able to wonder if you can get him at 117 instead of 107 right here. If they were to take him at 107, I'd be totally fine. Wide receiver, A.T. Perry, if you value Boutte just because of how good he was his freshman year at LSU, maybe take him. But there's guys like Xavier Hutchinson, Tyler Scott, that I think might be able to fall. Raheem Jarrett was also one. Or you could wait. I know John Doe really wants Jake Bobo, which could probably be a 6th-round pick. So, but I think you got to go tackle right here. Blake Freeland, still, if you want to take a chance on DeJuan Jones, that's crazy that he's still here. But Blake Freeland, Jalen Duncan, too. For me, my top choice would be Blake Freeland and then DeJuan Jones. I don't know. It just concerns me that DeJuan Jones keeps falling this far. There's obviously a serious concern with DeJuan Jones for him to keep falling this far. Yeah, Sonny. That's what I'm thinking. Oh, Blake Freeland goes a pick before us. Fuck! Gosh damn it! Shit! I love Blake Freeland. He has such good foot speed. He moves well. He's 6'8". He's long. He's played both right and the left side. Damn it! I love Blake Freeland right there. But no, I think now the top tackle on the board, you take a chance at DeJuan Jones here, in my opinion. Like, he has that length, he has that size, he's athletic, moves well for being as big as he is. So I think you take a flyer on him and take a chance on him and hope that Adrian Clem can mold him into something and Bill can. But I don't know. Gosh, that pisses me off. I wanted Freeland really bad. I thought he would be a really good tackle. Sit behind Trent Brown or Riley Reef for a year and then put him in. Damn, that's it. Dang it. A little more protection for there. Carlos, he was just because he's from Utah. I like Blake Freeland, and it was a little biased, but Henry To'oTo'o. I like Henry To'oTo'o, a little undersized linebacker, but I feel like you already got that in Marte Mapu yesterday at pick 76. So it's okay, Carlos. I need to stop getting my hopes up for players like this. I need to stop getting my hopes up. Yeah. All right, come on. Get the pick in for New England. Who do you guys want here? Charlie Jones? Jason says Charlie Jones, receiver out of Purdue. I think you could maybe wait a little longer for him. Just so you guys know, I got this little tidbit of information. You might have saw this on Twitter. Marte Mapu had 15 top 30 visits with NFL teams. So a lot of people were saying there was no way he made it out of day 2. So I get it. Could still be a reach for some people, but there was a lot of people thinking that he was going to go. So Freeland and Bernhard Raymond is interesting. Yes, that is a ton of athleticism for that offensive line. DeJuan Jones or Charlie Jones, you just want to keep adding Joneses to the team. Mac Jones, the 3 Jonathan Joneses. Marcus, Jack, get Charlie Jones or DeJuan Jones. Come on, man. No, I'm just kidding. Those would be 2 good options. Oh, the pick is in. That's what a center. Gosh damn it. They feel like this is it's literally the exact same last name as our current center right here. This is why we don't trust Bill to take offensive players, guys. I will say I talked about it for a long time that there's a need for a center behind David Andrews just because he's getting up there in age, his contract situation. I've talked about center before. I don't think you need to take him here. I don't think you need to take one here. I think that there's some guys you could take, but they take offense. How do I feel? I don't know, guys. How do you guys feel about it? Another Senior Bowl dude. I will say that we all know Bill Belichick loves. We all know Bill Belichick loves his Senior Bowl guys. This is a Senior Bowl dude. So, I mean, maybe my draft board next year is just all going to be based off of who went to the Senior Bowl and who performed well. Because, I mean, it's not a bad thing to do. But, yeah, Luke Weipler was there too. You want to talk about center. I'll go look at this guy here in a minute and give my thoughts on him. But, yeah, you have a center there in Weipler out of Ohio State that, in my opinion, is a dang good player. And probably, I don't know if he should be on the board at this point. But, well, guys, sit tight because in 10 picks, we'll be picking again. So you don't like this pick, sit tight. we won't like pick 117 either, but it's okay. Sit tight. The reason I don't like center right here is I just don't feel like this is an immediate need right now. Tackle is an immediate need. If Trent Brown or Riley Reef or one of those guys goes down, I would much rather have depth at the tackle position. I don't like our depth at the tackle position, so that's what concerns me. But Bill Belichick loves his Senior Bowl guys. The center is Jake Andrews out of Troy, a Senior Bowl player. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to make this graphic so I can post on my Instagram too and look at the chat. So I'll get to everything. Yeah. I mean, Carlos, maybe if you're looking at it, has he played any guard snaps too? Is there any position versatility there, or is it just mostly center? That's what I'd be interested to see. But I mean, usually guys that play at Troy aren't coming out early. So they're going to have a ton of experience. They're going to have a ton of snaps. They're going to be a veteran guy. So maybe they're hoping that he's going to be able to be like he's going to be like David Andrews just because he has his last name. He's dating a Troy cheerleader. Dude, I'm telling you guys, big dudes pull. Offensive lineman pull. Nope. Wow, Indianapolis. What a couple picks right there. Blake Freeland and then Adam Ward. Wow, what a couple picks right there. Dylan Horton goes edge to TCU. I like that pick for them. Guys, if I was making a pick for the Patriots, like on the draft or something, and I was like, Jake Andrews, I would probably be so pissed to have to read that off in person. But he played at left guard, center, and right guard, but his lack of athleticism. Yeah, that they just talked about that. They said they think he's going to be best at center. He has experience, so that helps, but he's a little undersized at 6'2". Can make it work, but still. Nicholas, yeah, lucky for you. You're an Eagles fan. You guys have that Georgia Bulldogs national championship defense just stacked. That's crazy. So, Yeah, I mean, precision versatility. That's what New England's been drafting. In Mapu, in Keon White, who can play multiple things. They did it last year too with guys throughout the draft. So it's what they like. He's another Senior Bowl guy too. But I agree. I think that this might be a little too high to take a center. If they were to take one with like 135 or 120, I'd be like, oh, okay, that makes a little bit more sense. But fifth pick in the fourth round, I don't know. Ugh. I guess he can play center on both guards. Yeah, he can. I think that I honestly, and it's interesting because Jason asked, he thought that we loved Cody Russi. It's interesting to see what they're going to do with Cody Russi, but he never really was on the 53 man. He was on practice squad. They did like him, but you take a center this high in the fourth round, you got to like him as the guy that David Andrews is going to kind of mentor, and he's going to take over for him one day. DeJuan Jones to Cleveland finally comes off the board. I really like Cleveland's draft class too. Wow. I really like Cleveland's draft. Cedric Tillman. I love Cedric Tillman as a receiver. Oh, we traded up with the Jets. Are we on the clock? Oh shit, we might be on the clock right here. We might be on the clock at 112. Carlos is saying we traded up. We're on the clock. I'm trying to find that right now. Well, shit, if they wanted to trade up and get DeJuan Jones, okay, so we give up 120. So we still have pick 135. So now, and then 184. Oh, and we still have 117. Wow. So we have 112, 117. Okay. So we're still, yeah, they gave up a fourth to move up 8 spots and then one of our 6 rounders, which means we only have 3 6 rounders now, but we are on the clock at pick 112. I get we need a tackle, but I don't know what tackles are worth it right here. Gosh, if DeJuan Jones was still there, I hope they didn't make this trade up thinking DeJuan Jones was going to be there. So tackle, wide receiver, we still need tackle depth. We could take a tight end. If this is Zach Kuntz, this might be more exciting than the pick for Christian Gonzalez. Probably not realistically, but I've been a Zach Kuntz fan too. Steen's gone. Steen went to someone last year. Yeah, he went, damn it. Kicker. Punter or someone. Jake Moody went yesterday. Yeah, the Patriots are, oh my gosh, we are drafting kicker. We're taking kicker Chad Rayland. I believe he's a Missouri guy. Guys, I'm not shitting you. I promise you, I'm not joking with you. The Maryland guy. We traded up to get a kicker. Guys, I promise you, right there. I'll go to the pick right here so you can see it. Chad Ryland. I'm not lying, guys. It's officially through. Oh my gosh. We knew that they would take a specialist at some point. But why do you trade up for one? No, I get, Carlos, that they're going, but do you really need to give up 120 to move up, or do you just get them at 117? Do you really need to give up an extra 6? I mean, at this point, we have so many damn picks that it's like, shit, just, I guess. I don't know. I'm not messing with you, Hugh Cameron. Look at the screen right here. You see Chad Ryland. If you look at the screen right here, you'll see kicker Chad Ryland. Clark Phillips goes to Atlanta. That's a good pick there. Just an undersized corner. But that's a good pick for them. I thought that personally, I thought that punter was more of a need than kicker. I don't know if they traded up. I feel like they would have been careful in trading up, and they would have known that DeJuan Jones was going to go to Cleveland before they made that trade. I don't know. As my computer is so slow when I'm trying to make these graphics to freaking upload. Really pisses me off. No problem taking a kicker. I just don't like trading up for one. We still are going to be on the clock at 117 though, so could still get a tackle there. Could still get Kuntz. Just give me Kuntz for my sanity. If we walk out of this draft with Kuntz and Christian Gonzalez, I'll be happy. Count me in. Oh my hell, guys! I'm so sorry you have to sit here through and watch this with me. Oh my gosh. Chandler Zavala, good interior offensive lineman out of North Carolina State. Gosh, I got to get this freaking graphic done so I can fetch and post or make the next one. I'm just going to be making graphics all day because they're deciding to make all these pics right by each other. Yeah, Hugh, I agree with you. I thought that we needed more of a punter because of how bad our punt situation was with Jake Bailey last year. Chad Ryland. Well, back on the clock at 117 here in 2 picks. So hold your horses. We ain't going nowhere. And then we'll have a little bit of a break till 135 unless they trade or something. Yes. Q, please, please give me Coots at 117. Please give me Coots. Please give me Coots, bro. There are still some corners on the board. I know Tony says this. I don't know if you double dip because I'm really confident with the top four we have. But I do like Darius Rush. It provides a little bit more length. Corey Trice is a huge corner, too. Eli Ricks out of Alabama. We know they have a little bit of a tie there. Well, a big tie. So that corner could be something. I don't know. At this point, I don't know. We've drafted as many special teams player as we've drafted offensive players this draft through 5 picks. I just refreshed my screen, so now the draft turned off. Gosh damn it. Ooh, Roschon Johnson, running back for Chicago. I like them. He did good things behind Bijan. Yeah. Yeah, I wish we could get Washington. Darnell Washington. Pittsburgh got a steal right there. Double dip, we're going to lose some next year. Who are we going to lose? Because Jonathan Jones just re-signed, and rookie contracts for Marcus Jones and Jack Jones, and then Christian Gonzalez is on a rookie deal. So I don't know. I mean, you're going to lose some depth, yeah, but I don't know if you take another one here. I don't know. Yeah, swapping Roschon for Montgomery. Bill, don't say this. If we go kicker punter, that's crazy. Ugh. Ugh. Bill, this might be the most real comment I've seen. Bill taking a punter after taking a kicker. Would that not just be the most? Gosh. Ooh, Kobe Wooden. Honestly, I wouldn't mind a nice hot cheerleader to take right here. I've seen some babes. Like Will Levis's girlfriend was a babe. That'd be kind of nice. That'd be nice. But wide receiver, yeah. At this point, I don't know if we go wide receiver. They're probably, hoping that Kendrick Bourne has a bigger role this year with Bill O'Brien. Devontae Parker's healthy. Tyquan Thornton continues to develop into Tyquan Thornton. Evan Lazar says the Patriots moved up to select Maryland kicker Chad Ryland. Ryland was the consensus second best kicker in the draft behind Jake Moody, big leg with kickoff experience. The problem is people are going to look at draft projections. No people project a kicker to go in the third or the fourth like Jake Moody, but that's where they go. NFL teams value kickers that have kickoff experience, stuff like that. So, Henry To'oTo'o is still there for Alabama. Charlie Jones is still available. Yes, Charlie Jones is still available. Yes, Cisco. Dream pick right here. Zach Kuntz out of Old Dominion, 6'7" tight end. Was originally recruited to Penn State by Bill O'Brien. If that was If that's the pick right here, I'll be so damn happy. But I can't get my hopes up anymore. Yes, Kuntz right here. I mean, there are good tight ends too. I don't want to move because I don't want to move off this screen. Dennis Allen from Clemson, Wiley from Cincinnati. Yeah, Kuntz or Charlie Jones. A pass catcher would just be nice in general, but at this point, I don't know if there's a receiver that's going to crack our top 4 or 5 that will make an impact. I could see Kuntz. We need a third tight end, and he could develop behind Mike Gesicki, Hunter Henry for next year. That's why I like Kuntz in this spot a little bit more. Oh. Come on, New England. Give us one more thing to cheer about, please, or at least me to cheer about. I've wanted Blake Freeland. He took a pick before us. We all wanted Darnell Washington or DeJuan Jones when they fell to the second or third. Just give me Zach Kuntz, please. Let me have Kuntz. Oh my gosh, we're taking another interior offensive lineman, Sidney So with the pick 117, guard out of Eastern Michigan. Guys, we know that Bill Belichick takes interior offensive linemen. Usually he does it later in the 6th, so I really am a little confused. But yeah, I think I mocked him a couple times to New England too. Later though, like 6th or 7th round a couple times. He was in the USFL for a little bit. He might find his ass back in the USFL. There are not many pictures of this dude. Oh no, Tony, I said I wanted interior offensive lineman. I'm not disputing that. Like I want offensive linemen. I think it's important to have a plethora of them that can rotate in and be good, solid guys. But I think that tackle. I'm surprised we took 2 interior guys, 2 interior specific guys, and not a tackle. And I know they've said that they're comfortable with their tackle room, but that's crazy to me because they don't have much like Trent Brown, Riley Reeve off contract after this year. Yeah, that's the other thing is that's weird right there, Hugh, is we draft Cole Strange in the first round last year to start at guard. And now we're taking 2 more guards. Well, we took Chase and Hines last year at some point too. Like to me, it's just we haven't gotten a lot of tackle depth and we've gotten a ton of guard depth. At least that's young. Like we have Riley Reef and guys like that, but I don't know if that's what this team needs. Like I don't know. It's weird. Well, we get a little bit of a break here until 1:35 unless they trade up. Okay. Carlos says he started 11 of 13 games, played at left tackle as a true freshman in 18 at Eastern Michigan, then moved to guard for 12 starts in 2019. 108 snaps allowed, no sacks allowed, 1 penalty. Yep, playing at that lower level. Edward, what's up, man? How's it going? Did I spell this? I spelled this dude's name wrong. What did I spell? No, the tackle from Old Dominion's not out there, Tony. He got taken really early in the second round. Or sorry, the fourth round. Really early. Seeing what Mel Kiper says. Four-year starter they're just talking about. Pick 112 ended up being kicker Chad Ryland. And then pick 117 was offensive guard Sid Sal. All right, there's our updated picks right there. What we still have, well, shoot, I guess I should. We gave up 184. So our first 6th-round pick is gone. All right. There you go. Updated ticker on the bottom for the Patriots. If you can play tackle in the NFL, that makes a lot of sense. Having someone that can back up left tackle and guard, position versatility. Again, New England loves it. It's funny that everyone is upset, rightfully so, but just looking at the picks across the bottom, this looks like, it's the most Patriots draft. Obviously, I think Christian Gonzalez is an outlier because it's a top 10 talent, arguably, and we get him at a good value right there. And at least we just didn't pass on him. But yeah, Keon White, Marte Mapu, position versatility. Then you add some interior offensive linemen. Yeah, it seems like a Patriots draft. Edward, I told everyone we're getting leftovers and cheap veteran players again. Nothing new. Yep. Vegas and Houston. Let's take a look at them. Houston, obviously the two big ones, CJ Stroud, Will Anderson. That's crazy right there. Scruggs, I liked him. He had talked about position versatility at center and guard. Mostly center, but he has experience playing guard. Tank Dell's another good slot receiver. You give CJ Stroud a pass catching option. And then I do like Dylan Horton. Yeah. And then Vegas, Tyree Wilson. Not a lot of people thought he'd be there at 7, so that's good. They get a guy to replace Darren Waller and Michael Mayer, Byron Young, Trey Tucker, Jacorian Bennett, who's a good press man corner that can play on the outside for him. So, yeah, I've liked what they've done. There's been some good drafts out there. I think ours started off good. Like we had the potential to have a really good draft. Now, just on paper, right? We're saying, it could have been a really dang good draft if you were to get DeJuan Jones and stuff. But those guys fell for serious reasons. The knee injury could be a huge deal for Darnell Washington. So maybe he doesn't have that career that everyone thought he would. So on paper, it always looks better or worse. But, yeah. You think they're done taking a lot? I'm wondering what position to take my target now. I still think you got to get a pass catcher, whether it's tight end or a receiver. Maybe they take a running back, they double dip at corner, or they grab a interior defensive lineman, something I could see them looking. So Jordan Addison, he is definitely taken by now. He's taken by the Minnesota Vikings in the first round, so he's not there. Yeah. The thing about Detroit's draft is like, love Jahmyr Gibbs, love Jack Campbell, love Sam Laporta, love Brian Branch. I think Hendon Hooker in the third for them is really good. Like, I love all the players they got. It's just kind of weird for me to look at where they took them all. Like, where they took Jahmyr Gibbs, where they took Jack Campbell, it's kind of weird. But I do like the players they got. I think that they got really good players. They kind of just said, this is our draft board. Screw everyone else. Screw what everyone's going to think. So, yeah, if you got to double dip for corners, yeah. Darius Rush is still there. If you're going to take a corner, I think there's guys there. Darius Rush has some length there. See draft so far. I mean, I like this class better than last year's class just because of like Christian Gonzalez and them. But there's still work to be done. Like, I would love this class if you could add another pass catcher, whether it's Charlie Jones or Zach Kuntz. If you would have switched and added a tackle instead of a guard or one of the guards, I would have liked it. The kicker, I don't mind. It's a kicker. It's kind of like how New England takes quarterbacks in the 4th and 5th rounds. They always seem to do that. So I'd have to give it about a C or a C plus too. The Christian Gonzalez pick's kind of carrying right now. So, yeah, that's what I was kind of talking about, right? Is like, on paper, it's going to be lower or higher than everyone thinks it's actually going to end out at. Like I said, we could have take DeJuan Jones at 46 and then Darnell Washington at 76, but they fell for legit reasons. If New England were to take them and they were to be busts, I feel like a lot more Patriots fans would be more mad that they turned out to be busts in the 2nd and 3rd round than if you take a guy like Jake Andrews in the 4th. You don't like it for the first year or two, but he turns into David Andrews type of player. People are going to forget about that a lot more. So I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying that's, it's probably a little easier to swallow taking a 4th round pick right now and having him turn into a good player than taking a guy that has a couple problems teams are concerned about and having him not be able to play his career. So Scott Matlock in the 6th. I'm not sure who that is, if I'm being honest. Draft is a B. The highest I'd give it's a B minus. I wouldn't give it a B. The highest I'd give it is a B minus just because it's what we saw last year. And if you're talking about New England wanting to add value at positions and having versatility there and just adding athleticism, that's what they're doing. Christian Gonzalez, home run pick. Keon White, position versatility, going to do a lot of different things. Freak athlete. Marte Mapu, same thing. Can play in the box, can play out of the box, can cover receivers, can smack dudes inside the box. Position versatility. Jake Andrews, a little bit undersized, but he is a good center, played a ton of snaps, experience. You get the kicker, and then you get Sidney which, is athletic, could kick out to tackle if they need to, but I don't know if he ever will be a tackle. So B minus at the best, but yeah. So, yeah, you're grading on a curve. Cisco, the kicker was arguably the second best kicker behind Jake Moody, who San Francisco took. Someone was at the Senior Bowl, said that they saw him kick at 90 yards on a kickoff, so he has a massive leg. Now, we've taken guys with a big leg before, the undrafted dude a couple years ago, and then he never ended up making the roster because he had accuracy issues. So that would be the concern right here with this guy. Massive leg, good kickoff value to put it through the end zone so we don't have to see Nick Folk do all those and stuff, and then could possibly hit 50-plus yarders if he gets his accuracy down. Okay, Jason. Defensive line, Boise State, top 30 visit, tough SOB. I'll pull him up right here. 6'4", 308 pounds, redshirt senior out of Boise State. Obviously didn't do anything at the combine. These are the type of dudes that Bill Belichick loves too, like tough, hard-nosed prick, interior defensive lineman. I don't know much about him. Didn't look at him. Probably should have with a top 30 visit, but yeah. Yeah, Carter Warren to the Jets. Again, guys, you want to talk about adding athleticism? Destined for greatness. DeJuan Jones went to Cleveland about pick 111, right before we took the kicker at 112. So DeJuan Jones is officially gone, but they should have taken. I won't argue that. I hate the Cowboys. I look at where they are going. The Cowboys are going for offense. Detroit is shopping Swift and Kansas City, New England, Dallas is in the mix. Ugh. I like DeAndre Swift, but I don't know. That'd be interesting to see New England. Scouts say Riley is an outstanding kickoff guy. Sounds like something we were missing last year. Yeah, that's for sure. Again, we're talking about adding athleticism for the Patriots. Sidney So was drafted with pick 117 of round 4. He scored a 9.72 on the RAS, raw athletic score, out of a possible 10. That was 41st out of 1,400 offensive guards from 1987 to 2023. So this dude's athletic for his size. Again, it's what they've been doing. I sound like a broken record and stuff, but they are just adding athletic dudes to this roster. That's all they're doing. I will go look at them. Okay, Buffalo. I like Kincaid. I think that's a little bit of a concern for Kyle Duggar, because he kind of has had troubles guarding Dawson Knox before, and I think Kincaid's a little bit better of a pass rusher. Osiris Torrance is probably the best. Well, I wouldn't say the best guard, because I think Skoronski's a guard and Steve Avila is good, but Osiris Torrance, straight guard coming out of the draft. I know people said Peter Skoronski was a tackle, but straight guard coming out of the draft, Osiris Torrance is good. Dorian Williams is a great linebacker out of Tulane, and then that's all they've had right here. And then the New York Jets. Obviously, we play a little defense and don't let them get Broderick Jones. So Pittsburgh takes him at 14. They take Will McDonald. Like Will McDonald, think that was a little bit of a reach at 15. Joe Tippmann right there is a really good center for them. And then Carter Warren adds some tackle depth for him that could potentially take over for a Mekhi Becton guy like that. So I don't think they're necessarily doing anything better than we're doing. But they added some good players too. So all these picks, they seem like they're for 2024 are to replace the winner, Sanders, replace Andrews, to replace one. Yeah. That's kind of what the draft's for, though. There's not very many teams that go into the draft and are depending on 4th and 5th round guys to come over and take over right away and start. it happens all the time because there are some dang good 4th and 5th rounders. I don't know if you guys saw the graphic, but last year, 67% of players that were rostered were drafted from the 4th to 7th rounds. So that's why it's so important for these rounds coming up right here. But you talk about what New England's doing, and I really do believe that they're building for the future. And it kind of sucks because we want to win now, but you have to replace a Winu. And it's easier to replace a Winu and Andrews with guys like this that you draft that can sit in your system for a year and learn behind them than draft a guy and bank on them to be really good their senior year. So, yeah, you do get comp picks out of them depending on the contracts they sign and stuff. Yeah, you could just re-sign a Winu depending on what he's asking for. We all know Bill Belichick's tight ass, so defensive tackles and edge rushers are flying off the board. Yeah, there's some D tackles I like too. Keontae Coburn hasn't been taken, so. Yes, Cisco. From a fan's perspective, it sucks. Like, it's boring, but that's how the NFL is ran. Outside of the first, second, possibly the 3rd round, there's not very many dudes that teams expect to come in and be instant impact right away. The NFL is a developmental league. It's come in, sit for a year, get in an NFL system, and then, yeah, I mean, it might look like, it's kind of like last year. You take 2 running backs, probably saw the writing on the wall. Damian Harris wasn't there. But those 2 running backs are going to be way better this year than any running back you'd take here and just throw them into the mix. They've been in the Patriots system. They got a couple NFL carries. They know the offense. So that's why it's hard from a fan's perspective, but that's why the NFL does it, is it's a business. They have to build for the future. You can't just pay every single good player that ever hits free agency for you or for other teams millions of dollars to stay. There's salary cap, there's stuff like that, and you have to kind of be creative with the ways that you use them. Yes, defensive tackle is a huge concern. I'll go to short little quick receiver for TCU just went to the Chargers. For me, Keontae Coburn, big defensive lineman that could be a run stuffer. I'd like Keontae Coburn. He could develop into something. Jaquinian Roy, too. The other Texas one, Ojimo. For me, my number 1 pick would be Coburn. I think he's a really good run stuffer. Could slide in here. Here's Matlock. What we were talking about up here with Jason. But yeah, Ojimo's there too. I like Ojimo. So Cisco, appreciate you. I don't know if Cole will be in here today. Honestly, I'll probably, after this pick, or after 135, I'll probably hop off. I don't need this. I don't want to sit on here for all of the 5th round and see if New England does something. But I'll probably hop off after this. Maybe give my final thoughts and stuff. But yeah. So no, we have one more pick, 135. If I scroll down, we have the last pick in the 4th round, which is pick 135. So we'll be up here in about 9 picks. So Tyler Scott, Charlie Jones would be great. Like I mentioned, though, like, are those guys ever going to, like, they could. I'm not saying they can't. Are those guys ever going to develop into something really good? There's plenty of opportunity they can. I like Tyler Scott. I like A.T. Perry. I'd take a chance on Butte just because he was so good his freshman year, although he does have off-the-field issues. Trey Palmer, Parker Washington, Xavier Hutchinson. I just look at these guys, and I'm like, they're probably really good wide receiver 3s, but in New England's offense, wide receiver 3s are asked to be wide receiver 2s, and I don't know if they have that ability. And we do have a lot of, like, depth, like, not high-end depth, but Devontae Parker, Tyquan Thornton, Juju Smith-Schuster, Kendrick Bourne, and then you're going to have a ton of 2 tight end sets with Gesicki and Hunter Henry, so you're only going to need 2 receivers on the field. I just don't know how much you want to take a receiver and, develop them. You still got to develop Tyquan Thornton. He's still got a ways to go. So that's the kind of spot where I stand. That's why I lean a little bit more tight end, just because there's an immediate need next year with tight end. Like, take a tight end, develop him under Mike Gesicki, let him play next year because Mike Gesicki might leave after his 1-year deal's up. You can re-sign Hunter Henry, and then you can readdress receiver next year with the people that want to be traded for, which I know New England's probably never going to trade for a receiver, stuff like that. So, yeah, you're going to have UDFAs too. Since they already took their special teams guy, do you see them trading back up into the 5th round, or do you think they'll just wait until the 6th? I thought they were going to trade up four fourth round picks and 4 6th-round picks and then a 7th. I thought they were going to trade up into the 3rd or to the 2nd, back into it, or to get a pick earlier. They never did. I don't know. They never take picks in the 5th round. If they do, it's specialists. So they already took their specialists. Maybe not. Just add more talent. In the 6th round, you're going to have 3 picks now because you did trade one of them to move up to pick 112, and then you're still going to have a 7th. So I don't know. I thought they were going to move up all week, and they haven't. So I think A.T. Perry's pro comp is Parker. I do like A.T. Perry. I think that if you bring him in, he has an ability to develop behind Devontae Parker. And if Devontae Parker gets hurt, you're going to get a little bit of reps to him. He can develop, but he's not going to be an instant impact this year. But I'd almost rather have a big X receiver like A.T. Perry or someone over one of the smaller receivers that you'd be taking right now. So. Yes, I still want a tight end. If you don't get one at 135. All right, excuse me, guys. If you don't get one at 135, it worries me about the depth. I'll pull up tight ends in a minute. Corsac, no, we are go Rutgers. I don't think so. We already got I'd be surprised if we would another specialist. I do like Davis Allen. Kuntz is my dream pick here. Payne Durham's a big inline tight end. These two right here, Josh Wiley and Will Mallory, are athletic guys. That could have a little bit something to them, and maybe they get to us at the 6th at pick 187. So I wouldn't hate if you get Josh Wiley or Will Mallory later in the 6th round, but honestly, like, dream pick, just let me wrap up my day happy. Please give me Zach Kuntz at pick 135 for New England. Please give me Zach Kuntz at 135. I don't think we're on the clock unless we made a trade up. We're on the clock at 137, unless there was a trade up. Henry To'oTo'o is still on the board. Yes, he's undersized. He reminds me of I think that they would look at him as what they look at Marte Mapu. I really do. Like, so do you double dip on smaller linebackers? I don't know. I do think that the offense, we're improving defense so much. We did get a couple offensive linemen. I think that the offense is going to be much better than it's got to be better, right? Like, we're not going to be an elite offense. We're going to be a much more productive offense with Bill O'Brien, Mac Jones. The addition of Juju and Mike Gesicki, I think, will help the pass catching game. I hope the offensive line's better. I don't know if it is. I hope that they're better. Trent Brown's got to be better. Cole Strange can come along a little bit more, and then hopefully Riley Reef or one of those guys slides in at right tackle and can be at least playable. New Orleans goes Jake Hader, quarterback out of Fresno State. So I do think our offense will be better. I think it's clear that Bill Belichick wants to add defense here and, try to limit teams. I don't know if that's the best thing. So late to stream. What's up, KB92? Thanks for tuning in. Having a debate with buddies. What's your thoughts on the fact we've not taken any offensive tackles? No, you're good. I've been covering everything all day. So I'm surprised. I thought that they would have taken the tackle at least by the 3rd. And then I thought for sure today they were going to take one. Now, they take a guy in Sidney Sal that has the ability to play tackle, but he projects as a better guard. And then Jake Andrews as a center. So it's surprising to me that they go Cole Strange last year and then Sidney Sal and Jake Andrews this year in the 4th round. To me, my concern is the lack of depth and the lack of longevity at that tackle position. Cole Strange has 4 more years with us. Michael Owenu is going to be a free agent, so I get addressing an interior offensive line position, but taking two of them is a little concerning. I definitely thought that they would. They didn't. I thought that they would take one at least. So, Marte Mapu is a beast. Yeah, I hope you went and watched some film, or maybe you already knew about it. If you guys still haven't watched Marte Mapu film, I'm sure there's a ton of Patriots guys tweeting about it and putting clips up. But his Senior Bowl stuff is really impressive. He was dominant there. He made a lot of money at the Senior Bowl. And he took 15 top 30 visits. I know I already said that. If you guys weren't in here when I read that, he took 15 top 30 visits during the pre-draft process. So 15 teams viewed him as a top 30 prospect. So that's what the difference is. Oh, the draft analysts and stuff said that they give him a 5th or 6th round grade. No, half the NFL had him as a top 30 dude and wanted him in their building as a top 30 visits. So. Is this true, Pat Scout IG? Eagles just trade for DeAndre Swift? Wow. Gotta pull up Twitter. Wow. There it is. After using their top pick on running back Jahmyr Gibbs, the Lions are trading DeAndre Swift to the Philadelphia Eagles per source. The trade is a homecoming. Swift is from Philadelphia and went to high school at St. Joseph's Prep. Wow. There you go. They get rid of Miles Sanders. He goes to Carolina. So Miles Sanders, wow. Good for DeAndre Swift. He'll be good with Jalen Hurts. So that's the thing. It will depend on the offensive line, and I hope we're not kicking ourselves for not taking a tackle. Any chance they decide to use Strain's athleticism and lack of size at right tackle. If they were going to move anyone to right tackle, I would rather have them re-sign Michael Owenu and move him to right tackle because he was an all-rookie dude at right tackle. So if they're going to move someone that's an interior offensive lineman, re-sign, because then that gives you an excuse to pay Michael Owenu like a tackle instead of like a guard. Give him the money. Let him play right tackle. You still got to find a left tackle of the future unless Trent Brown's the answer there. And then you can slide in Sidney Sal or one of those guys at right guard. I think it's easier to find a right guard than it is to find a good right tackle. So if that's their option, I'd be fine with that, sliding a window out. We've seen him do it. We know he can hold his own. But Cole Strange's lack of size would worry me a little bit out at tackle. JC's really starting to hate the Eagles. I mean, Patriots fans aren't fond of the Eagles either because they beat us in the Super Bowl. So Eagles are the best in the NFL. Yeah, they were looking really good. And the thing about the Eagles is they're taking chances. Like they take a chance. Well, they have a ton of draft picks too, right? They take a chance for A.J. Brown last year. They still get Jordan Davis. They still get Nakobe Dean to add to the defense. They take a chance at Miles Sanders. They re-sign Jalen Hurts, and then they go out and they get Jalen Carter. Then they go and get Keely Ringo, and then they go and get Nolan Smith. Like they're trading up, they're being aggressive, they're taking chances, and it's paying off for them. They have the best roster on paper in the NFL. They were in the Super Bowl last year. They looked unstoppable at times. Like it's paying off for them. Howie Roseman is killing it. Jalen Hurts deserves everything that's came his way. I'm a Jalen Hurts fan. I'm a big Jalen Hurts guy. I'm not an Eagles fan, but I could cheer for Jalen Hurts. I really like him. I think how he stuck it out at Alabama when he got benched, stayed the next year, came in, won the SEC championship game, then transferred right as a senior. He's like, hey, I want to go to the NFL. I know I'm not going to start here. Let me go here to Oklahoma. I like that. So Stetson Bennett comes off the board. No, it's not Stetson. We could have gotten him. Carlos Lopez, the number one quarterback in the draft, just went in the 4th. How could we not draft Carlos? How can we not draft him, Carlos? Yeah, I'm assuming you're talking about Marte Mapu, right? Like, just he's a good football player. Not elite, not great, but New England will make him into a good football player. They'll have a unique role for him. It'll be exciting to see how they use him. I like it. I think that he'll be fun for New England. Okay, so the Eagles or the Rams, the Rams are on the clock. The Lions gave up a future fourth next year, and then they moved up 30 spots to in the trade with DeAndre Swift in the 7th round. So they give up a 7th round pick to move up, and then a future fourth for DeAndre Swift. I mean, that's a killer trade for Philadelphia because there's not a 4th round pick that you could find that's going to be more productive than DeAndre Swift for them next year. So that's a killer trade for them. Shake that, dude. I really wish I could share the audio with you guys. I don't know if I can. I know how to do it on my end, but I don't know if I'd get banned by sharing the audio or copyrighted. So I wish I could play it lightly. It's coming through my headset, but I wish I could play it for you guys so there's not really weird. So I'm not really weird about or so it's not weird like awkward silence or something. You at least have something to hear about, but I wish I could. So, Tony, you're talking about a winner to right tackle. Yeah. It makes sense. They started him there for a whole year as a rookie, and then he doesn't start the next year. He plays as that 6th offensive lineman. Then last year they move him in the guard, and he was still good at guard. He wasn't as elite. He didn't have the all rookie honors, obviously he couldn't. But I would love to see a winner back out at right tackle, and then fighting another right guard to replace him, Sidney Sal, whoever it is. So that's the deal the Patriots should have made. Yeah, I mean, give up pick 135 right here. Or give up your 7th round pick 245, or honestly, give up one of your 6. You still have 3 6th round picks. Give up one of your 6th round picks if you see it scrolling across the screen. Give up pick 192, and then give them a future 5th or a future 4th or something. So, I don't think they trade out. I don't know if you heard Alex Barth is the one that brought it to my attention. The Patriots don't select people in the 5th round. Go look at their previous drafts unless it's a specialist. So they broke the trend this year. They took a specialist already, and it wasn't in the 5th. So I don't think they trade out of this pick. I sure as hell hope not. I'd rather just be disappointed right now. Stetson Bennett. We could have had him. Would you guys have taken Stetson Bennett as a backup quarterback in New England? So the kicker we got, Chad Ryland, or gosh, why did I say Ryland? Chad Ryland hit 82.6% of his field goals for Maryland last season. He was 2 for 6 from 50-plus yards. His kickoffs landed for touchbacks 69.9% of times. Folks' number last season for touchbacks, 9.1. 9.1. That's a crazy difference right there. The Patriots sent their special teams coaches to work Ryland out at Maryland's pro day. So getting a big boost in the kickoff game at least. And then you have a big leg right there that has the ability to hit 50-yarders. So what do you think about trading or the Rutgers safety? No to Stetson Bennett. I don't feel like we need a safety. If you're going to take a safety, you're moving Jalen Mills back there already. You draft Marte Mapu, who's listed as a safety, probably going to play more of a versatile linebacker role, but still, if you're in 3rd down or nickel packages, you can pull a linebacker off the field, and then you can create really creative blitz packages with Jabril Peppers and Marte Mapu on the field. You still have Adrian Phillips and Kyle Duggar. You can do a lot of creative things by having these 3-4 safety looks on the field and still having 3 corners on the field. So I like this thought of not taking a safety anymore just because we add a versatile safety linebacker hybrid type of guy, and we already have a bunch of them. And Jalen Mills is probably going to be playing free safety. So I don't know if I'm in on the safety train anymore. We're up in 4 picks. Final pick of round 4. Andrew Callahan's tweet. Let me go pull that up. All right, here we go. Andrew Callahan says, granted, it's April, lots of camp competition to come, but the Patriots line could very well be settled if Andrew and So are hits. Trent Brown, Calvin Anderson at left tackle, Strange and Sidney So at left guard, Andrews at center, Michael Winu or Jake Andrews at right guard too, play kind of both of those positions, and then Riley Reef and Calvin Anderson. Calvin Anderson will be kind of the swing tackle. I get it, guys. Like, I feel comfortable about this. If Sidney Sow and Jake Andrews hit, you also have Andrew Stuber. I think it's Andrew Stuber last year. I think that this could be an offensive line that, if the top 5 stay healthy, could be good. But the problem is, off contract next year, Trent Brown. Off contract next year, Riley Reef, Michael Winu. So you're banking on Sidney Sow to hit, and you can slide him into right guard potentially. Then you're still going to have to find a right tackle. Depending on how Trent Brown plays, you got to either re-sign him or find a left tackle too. It's I don't know, scary. So I stopped sharing my screen. Sorry, guys, hit the wrong button. Here we go. Charlie Jones was just taken by Cincinnati, so they get another receiver. Yeah, Zach Kuntz is still available. I am giving this draft class a C minus because Christian Gonzalez is going to pull it up. No one thought you could get Christian Gonzalez. He's an A plus plus. I like Marte Mapu. I like Keon White as a player. Like, I love the players. It's just the only reason I'm giving him Knox is because of the value of where you got him at. So I like the players that they've gotten. I would have liked a couple of edge players and possibly the third, probably the fourth a little bit more. Keon White is going to be a stud opposite of Matt Judon, though. And maybe they're going to let him sit behind Judon and take over for Judon if they don't re-sign him. So I'd give it a C minus. I just don't think you can realistically give it a D because this class is already better than last year's class just on paper because of Christian Gonzalez. That's a top 10 talent. Last year, we traded down and still reached for a third-round guard who turned out to be decent. This year, we trade down and we get a top 10 talent that we didn't even think would be there at 14. So, three picks. Cisco, I agree with this. The Christian, I would give it a B plus. Christian Gonzalez, Keon White as players, B plus draft. And I'd actually probably just stick with that B plus. Marte Mapu, I'd give a B minus. So The first 3 rounds, I would probably give a B or a B minus to. Today, just with a kicker and 2 offensive linemen, and we'll see what they go here at 135, I'd give today maybe a D plus, and that's what's going to pull it down to a C minus, a C for me. Nick Herbig, I liked him. Good pass rushing ability. He's probably fallen because he's more of an off-ball linebacker in the NFL, a little shorter arm span, and not that ideal length and size for a interior or a defensive end. But 20 plus something tackles for losses. He had 11 sacks this year out in Wisconsin. He's got some juice to him as a edge rusher. Charlie Jones from Purdue averaged 105 reception yards per game. That led to Big Ten. Yes, Evan, another guy on the Kuntz bandwagon. I've been saying this since pick 107 this morning. Grab Kuntz. Kuntz as a tight end right here. Boom. Yeah, well, then no. And that's what I'm saying, JC, is like our draft class last year, the grade we gave it the day or two after to the grade I'd give it now is totally different. And I'm not saying that, but I'm saying on paper, value-wise, the positions that I think we needed, it's a C. But they could easily pop off. You could get Sidney Sal that could slide right in next season, not this year, but the following year after that, and be a very good offensive guard for the Patriots. You can get Jake Andrews that takes over for David Andrews once he retires or New England doesn't re-sign him, and he could be a 5-6 year starter for New England like David Andrews was. Like, these guys could easily pop off. I'm not saying that. And they're good players. That New England's adding Senior Bowl players. They're adding position versatility guys. So, yeah. Yeah. Perfect development. Yeah, and he has a connection with Bill O'Brien. Bill O'Brien originally recruited him to Penn State before Bill O'Brien left, and then he transferred to Old Dominion. So, if they hit on Gonzalez and White, I think it's easily a B draft. Plus, they usually hit another player or two in the 4th. Wouldn't surprise me if the center guard becomes starters. Yeah, they easily could. Bill Belichick always finds starter, and there's a lot of guys. It's not just Bill Belichick. A lot of interior offensive linemen in the 4th and 5th round end up becoming starters. So they could easily become that, especially with the questions with David Andrews and Michael Owenu in the draft or in the upcoming years. Daniel Jeremiah said, Sidney Sal is going to be a starter sooner rather than later. That's what he said on the broadcast. Okay. Like I said, 4th, 5th round guys are always starting in the interior offensive lineman. I've been excited for every pick, Cisco. I've been excited for every pick because I'm waiting for Zach Kuntz to pop up on my freaking screen and be excited about it because he's been a draft crush of mine at tight end. And then, I think all Patriots fans get freaking excited for every pick, and then we just get disappointed. That's what's so dumb is every year we get excited and then disappointed, excited and disappointed. Every freaking year, it's the same crap. Tyler Scott, wide receiver, Cincinnati, goes to Chicago. That's a guy some of you had mentioned about as a receiver. Best receiver still on the board. A.T. Perry, I mentioned him. I'm still taking a chance on Butte. He was so good his freshman year. If Bill Belichick can A++, Sonny. A++. No, it probably bumps it up to a C plus or a B minus, like B minus at the most, just because I feel like it makes so much sense. So, A.T. Perry, a big receiver that could replace Devontae Parker. Keyshawn, it was so good his freshman year, but he has off the field issues. You can bring that in. Xavier Hutchinson, you go watch Brock Purdy highlights. 90% of the passes are to Xavier Hutchinson at Iowa State. So he's got something to him, a little bit bigger bodied receiver too. At 6'2". But again, all these guys like are wide receiver threes. So I'm assuming you're talking Tyler Scott. Yeah, the one that just went. Yeah, that's what I thought. He ran a. He's fast. Tyler Perry. He mixed both of them. He added the speed of Tyler Scott and the size of A.T. Perry to make the perfect receiver. That's what he meant to say. Agree, Evan. Minnesota, what the hell are you doing? Oh, Jay Ward. Okay, here we go. New England is on the clock. Last pick in the 4th round, pick 135. New England already made 3 selections. Last pick right here. Yes, Evan. Please. I can't get my hopes up. Oops. A.T. Perry. A.T. Perry, Carlos. I know you're joking. I'm just giving you crap. But yeah, he still ran a 4.47, which is good enough speed. So Kuntz. Oh, Tom Brady, Rune Dog. I like Tom Brady. He's a guy that I don't think a lot of people have on their radar. Could turn into a really good quarterback. I like that Tom Brady dude. Kuntz. Oh, Tyler Perry, the director. We can take him. Oh, that's funny. That was a good laugh right here before we get disappointed here in probably a minute. Raiders traded up. Mother effer. That means that we probably traded to pick 144. I'm assuming we're going to get 144. Yeah, they start right away. Yep. There you go. So I wonder if we gain a 7th. Yep. So we're going to get. Yeah, that's what they should do, Evan. we'll give you back those 2 picks if you give us Devontae Adams. So yeah, so we will take pick 144. Let me update this. So we are now out of the 4. So we are going pick 5, round 5, pick 144, and then we're getting 214, which I believe is going to be the 7th. No, right at the end. Back to 4 6-round picks, boys. Yeah, it's a conditional. So, well, guys, I said I'd stay through the 4th. Yeah, we don't need more picks. I don't know. I mean, maybe, I guess we do. We got to fill roster spots, got to fill camp spots, practice squad spots. But yeah, I'm gonna have to head out, guys. Though, I wish I could say. I wish I could stay for 144 at least, but I gotta be somewhere here in about 20 minutes, so I'm gonna have to hop off. Hopefully, they take a guy right here, Zach Kuntz, if he's not gone. Hopefully, Zach Kuntz is still there. Take someone that any of you guys want, and not someone that would disappoint us. But yeah, so Cisco, appreciate you. Evan, thank you so much for being here. JC, thanks for hanging out, even though you're not a Patriots fan. Oh, there you go. Perfect. Patriots. You guys can hop on Patriots Unfiltered right there. So, they trade up for a quarterback. Aiden O'Connell, the Purdue guy. Interesting. So, all you guys that popped in, Sonny, appreciate you. Rune Dog. I was just trying to scroll up, see who else was here. Tony, appreciate you guys. Bravis, if you guys are still here. Pat Scout IG, I know you've been watching. Shout out to you. You don't comment much, but shout out to you. Honestly, thank you guys so much for all week. Like, I really wish I could stay live for the next 3 rounds, and just talk more football, Patriot stuff, and just be with you guys for the draft. Sadly, I got, other things to do, family in town and stuff. But it was, I love the draft. I hope you guys enjoyed the coverage from both me and Cole while we're here. We appreciate you guys being here, commenting, subscribing to us, whatever, following us on Instagrams, so you can stay up to date if we're not live. But we're going to have some clips coming out. We're going to grade this draft class. We're going to do a bunch of other things so that we can have a little bit of a kind of a closing remarks, closing thoughts and stuff, and do all those things. So hopefully you guys are subscribed so you can tune into that. And if you guys haven't, use our code. Let me turn this banner off. Use our code PATSDRIVE at Underdog Fantasy. You get your first deposit matched up to $100. So you put in $20, you get a free $20. You put in $50, you get a free $50. Again, that's code PATSDRIVE. You can either use that code online on your phone, or you can click the link that's in the description and in our bio. So go ahead and do that. Again, appreciate everything you guys for this weekend. Go Patriots as always. Hopefully the draft ends good. We still have 5 picks left. We're going to have 1 in the 5th. We have 6 picks left now. 1 in the 5th, 4 in the 4th, or 4 in the 6th, and then 1 in the 7th. So hopefully we get a couple more exciting players. But appreciate all you guys, and until next time, we'll talk to you later.
Thanks for listening to this edition of the Patriots Drive podcast. Follow us on social media to stay up to date with all things New England Patriots. Make sure you tune in to the next episode and check out patriotsdrive.com for more great content.
We're on to Cincinnati.